Video Killed the Radio Star presents Extended Play, The Artist's View. In this episode, Carol Decker of T'Pow and director Brian Grant discuss the ideas behind T'Pow's music videos, including the thought-provoking China in Your Hands.
The 80s for me was great. It was a time of opportunity and that whole kind of bang on that door for long enough and it will open. It was just a question of that long journey through to your big break of playing working men's clubs and art centres in and around Shropshire, North Wales, the Potteries. If you got a gig in Birmingham, it was the Metropolis. That was really exciting. And then David Bettridge and Simon Hicks from Siren came to see us. And it literally was like a corny episode of Fame. It was like, let's do the deal right here. Let's sign these guys. And we all shook on it and they went off back to their offices and we were running up the walls and over the ceilings like demented squirrels, just screaming. It just felt like anything was possible and we all had so much energy and enthusiasm, but raw talent as well. We all had talent, you know, in every aspect of filming, recording, singing, you know, the musicians I was working with. Everyone was really good at what they did and we just maxed it out. It was this fantastic window of opportunity where we all just we burst through the window, all of us. Then we got a deal and we didn't have a name. So one day I was watching telly and I was doing the ironing. And an episode of Star Trek was on. I'm not paying attention, I'm trying to get my, my sleeves nice. And T'Pow and T'Pow and T'Pow, and it was very onomatopoeic, very snappy, and I like the spelling, T-P-A-U. And I just put it to the band, and they hated it less than they hated everything else. So we ended up as T'Pow, but we could have been Klingon. That would have been really awful, wouldn't it? Heart and Soul got released in the UK and went into the charts at number 98 and straight back out again. And it was almost all over before it began. David Bettridge never liked the sound of the record. So when the single bombed, he was like, I told you it was rubbish. It's absolutely been ruined. We were like, oh no, we're going to get dropped. And it had taken me so long to get a deal, Then Pepe Jeans picked up on the track and they used it as a cinema commercial. The track got picked up by American radio, starts to climb up the Billboard charts. And our mother company was Virgin and they said, get the band out here, we need some promo. And off we went to just outside of Chicago. And so I went from sleepy Shropshire to landing at O'Hare Airport in Chicago. And I was like, it was just fantastic. And I still remember almost every minute of it. It was so amazing. If you have a big hit in the States, it tended to jettison you around the rest of the world and everybody else would prick up their ears. And so in this country alone, Bridge of Spies, our debut album, went quadruple platinum, which is just massive. And I think it was 1 in 10 households had the album. You could cruelly say we were a one-hit wonder out there, but hey, what a one-hit it was, and it's still getting played now.
It was a theme she had on a scheme he had, told in a foreign land, to take life on earth to the second birth.
David Betteridge put together a meeting with Brian Grant, and he had a fantastic reputation. And I remember meeting Brian with his shock of black curls, and he's got a fantastic smile. And I think he probably flirted with me, and I said, yeah, that's probably what happened.
Don't push too far, your dreams are China in your hand. Don't wish too hard because they may come true, and you can't help them. You don't know what you might have set upon yourself.
The first time I met Carol Decker and Tapao, they gave me this song called China in Your Hand.
China in your hand.
It's interesting when people look at videos that you do and they don't understand the imagery, or they think it's, what's that got to do with the song? But that's sometimes the point, because, you know, as a video director, you can interpret the song any way you like.
Like a child in the form of man, a prophecy for a fantasy, the curse of a living.
I thought it was a sort of about the fragility of dreams. The video's about sort of the loneliness of someone who's chasing their dreams.
Don't push too far, your dreams are China in your hand.
So if you're a writer or you're an artist or you're a musician and you move to the big city and you move into an apartment, you know, you're struggling all the time to get somewhere, and those dreams are fragile, you know. So that's kind of what the apartment is all about. It's about how easily those dreams can be dashed.
China in your hand. Oh, your hand.
He took his own interpretation of the song, which I was happy for him to do, which was, and the tenor of the song, and it is written about Mary Shelley writing the story of Frankenstein, which is why the lyric starts. It was a theme she had on a scheme he had, so it's her theme on Dr. Frankenstein's scheme. And it's all about, be careful what you wish for. I think Brian just interpreted that his own way, and you can see in the video that I'm having this relationship and I'm arguing. Ronnie was my boyfriend and plays my boyfriend, and our relationship is chaotic and it's spiralling out of control, and my life is, you know, a mishmash of things that are going wrong.
It may come true, and you can't help them. You don't know what you might have said upon yourself.
Everything looks weird, you know, I'm looking through the keyhole and you get Rottweiler snapping at me, and there's almost like a riot in the street. And then the comments I've had is, Carol, tidy up your bloody bedroom. You know, when I'm sitting in the end scene and there's all this paper blowing everywhere, I just get, will you tidy your room? Comments.
Don't wish too hard because it may come true, and you can't help.
He did interpret it in a different way, but I really liked it, and it would have been hard to do a Frankenstein story. So he extrapolated the vulnerability of my character in the song and interpreted it his way, and I was happy to let him do that.
That was my interpretation of what I thought the meaning of the song was, in terms of the images I came up with. But that's not to say it's right or wrong. It's just to say whether does it work or not. There's an abstract quality to it. And I think the best videos usually are abstract, even when you're telling a linear story.
China is a fantastic piece of production, and there's so much going on in the video that you can watch it over and over again, and there's always a little bit that you think you missed. And when I watch it, obviously I can remember every scene that we did, and I love the bit where I sit up in the bed and there's a dissolve through the wall of my bedroom and you see a whole street.
The screen that reveals the street, that's an old theatre trick using muslin, because again, we didn't have any digital effects. But that's what the video's really about. It's about, you know, living on the edge, chasing your dreams, but being lonely, and the fragility of dreams. Carol was always good at was you'd give her the seed of an idea and she'd come up with something to add to it. And she's an absolutely naturally gifted performer. So, I mean, I'm sure she'd be a really good actress, actually.
I cannot say I know mine are the tears I never cry. I know mine.
You know, we were new to video and it was quite nerve-wracking, really. Didn't really know what I was doing. And he put me at my ease. And then he had lots of ideas. Now, I never had any ideas about video. I've never been one of those visual artists. I'm almost like a muse, if you like. So Brian would come up with lots of ideas and know that I would do what I needed to do and execute it really well and look great. My image was part of the band, you know. I mean, it might sound awful to say that, but I think you just have to be realistic about it. You know, all bands have an image, and when a girl fronts a band, it helps if she's good looking and, you know, can wear a short skirt and stuff like that. It was all part of it. So I felt when I worked with Brian, incredibly confident that he made the most of my talent and the most of my looks without selling me down the river. When I said I had no ideas, I didn't, and probably still wouldn't have. But what I quickly took to like a duck to water was how to work a camera. When I saw how he made me look, I felt very confident that I could look at a camera square in the lens and do whatever he told me to do and just emote. Brian cast the dancers, who I'll never forget, were called Coon and Trinidad. I've never forgotten their names because they were so unusual, and couldn't stop looking at his tights either, which were really well stuffed. Obviously, it's a story of forlorn love. You know, it's somebody you want, you've got a crush, they're not interested. And we storyboarded that. Again, it was like a little mini TV episode of something. And then within that were the dancers who were also, you know, trying to show affection for each other and then being pulled apart. And in the video, you know, I'm going out with this guy, crazy about him, we're walking the dog along the embankment, and then it's over and he moves on, but I haven't moved on. And we meet at the party and I'm sort of going, hey, yeah, you, how are you? Oh, me, I'm fine. And he walks off and I go. To put the story within the story was clever, I think, with the dancers.
Working with Carol, you know, was great. I mean, she's great, mad, as you can tell. We did a video called Secret Garden, which was just mad stuff. I mean, as eccentric in English as you can get. Set it in a maze, and I just filled it full of mad English characters, really. It's Spike Milligan influenced, it's Marty Feldman influenced, it's, you know, it's just a mad video and it doesn't really mean anything. Carol plays two characters in it, sort of an upright character and this mad little girl that runs around causing havoc. And it's all about getting lost in a maze. And the secret garden, which is full of delight. It's not really about anything else.
Come into the garden, oh, you got to come into the secret garden. We're changing the way we're made. We're going to move.
I thought Secret Garden was fantastic, and I can take no credit whatsoever for the storyboard once again. I just loved it. It was completely potty. By now, we're really growing in confidence, and any wacky idea that Brian came up with, we just went, let's do it, because we knew it would be fantastic.
The guys who are in the bowler hats in the video are the band, apart from the moment when they're playing, when they're the band there too. But it's always tricky when you've got an artist. Carol's, great up front, but you've got to get the band in as well, and you've got to give them something to do, and they're not actors. So it's just a sort of question of finding out what their personalities are like, and what the humour of the band is like, and that's kind of where some of these ideas came from for Secret Garden.
We're going to move the mountain.
Yeah, it was an opportunity, I think, for the band to feature more heavily, because I did get a lot of the attention, because I was the kind of marketing tool anyway in the band. And I just love it, and I can watch it to this day, and every now and again I'll take a sneaky look on YouTube.
The one thing we all learned about music videos is they had to be repeatable. If you saw it the first time and you got it, then why would you want to watch it again? It's like good movies. I think the best videos are always ones where you can see it over and over again and either try and interpret what the director's trying to say, or not bother, or you just want to watch it over and over again because you get something different from it each time.
And I love the opening scene, do not look at this sign. And that makes my 9-year-old son crack up. I've gone, hey, do watch this. And he's going, no, I looked at it, So I loved it, yeah.
Generally, you can't make a good video without a good song, because the song, it is your script, whatever you do with it. You can try and make something out of a song that's not so good, but it will never be a great video without a good song.
I Will Be With You, which was a top 10, I think, for us. We were really playing around by then. We made a room that we could turn, and again, lots of silhouettes doing really wacky, kind of surreal things, and scenes I didn't understand, like Michael, our keyboard player, just opens a fridge full of red shoes. I mean, what's that all about? Maybe Brian was on acid back then when he was doing that, and something was going on, but it looks amazing. I Will Be With You is a very surreal and dreamlike and slightly sinister video. It's one of my favourites that we did. I think timing is everything, and we came along at a time when the video was just really flexing a big muscle. MTV was at the height of its powers by around 1987, sort of mid to late 80s. It was really growing from a niche thing to a global thing, and they'd opened MTV Europe as well. So all of a sudden, people all over the world could see you. You didn't have to get there and do the tour. You could present yourself. And videos were getting really elaborate with fantastic storyboards and all the trickery of the day. We were lucky enough to work with someone like Brian, who was one of the best, and we just created these great images that people really wanted to see and enjoyed looking at time and time again, and that supported the record so much. And of course, by the time you decided to put a tour together, they already knew who you were because they'd seen you on MTV.
Absolutely great fun working with Carol. She's totally delightful, totally, as I said, totally mad, but good mad, you know.
I would have to say pot kettle black calling me insane, Mr. Grant, but that he probably is one of the most important men in my life because he was instrumental in what happened to me because the video was as important as the song. So I owe him a lot.
Oh, you know they hurt me so much now.
I never for once thought when we were making the videos that any of them would last as long as this. You don't. You're in the middle of doing something, you don't think about it. It was a pretty intense time. It was an incredibly creative time, that was the thing. Because we got an opportunity to do so many things.
We were building little movies. Everything we did, we were building little movies. Best time of my life.